Hey he fans and she ravers and toy fans alike, welcome to another nerdgasms.net toy review. Today we're going to be looking at Extendar, the heroic knight of Eternia, and character from the Masters of the Universe line. Extendar was a figure from the vintage line that I didn't have as a kid, so I didn't think that the classics version would resonate too much with me. Plus, unlike many of the Masters of the Universe figures, he had a completely different buck than the other characters, which as a kid didn't sit that well with me. I don't know why, a little bit weird, but that's what it was. However, opening this guy from the package, it really sparked a renewed interest in the vintage figure because of how cool the classics figure is. Let's start with the paint app. The figure is mostly molded plastic. There's very little paint app. Some highlights on the body, the face, and the weapon. It really makes for little to mess up, but it works well for this really simple figure design. So you have the paint on the face, some highlights here and there, and then on the weapon. So there's really nothing to talk too much about the paint app. Next, we'll look at the articulation. Extendar is a very bulky bodied figure. This makes for a really impressive looking figure when he's sitting on your shelf, but pretty bad for articulation and playability. His arms don't go up very far, don't go around very far. The head is obscured by the face shield, and because of that, it doesn't move very well. And the legs move better than the other appendages, but that doesn't really say much because they don't move particularly well either. So really, he's very bulky, and you don't get a lot of movement. But paint apps and articulation aren't what make this figure. What makes this figure really cool, as you can pretty well much assume, is that he's got the extension on the appendages. Unlike the original figure that had the extenders for the head, arms, and legs built right into the figure body, the classics version of the extensions are external pieces that you have to manually put on. They pop into place with like a ball and socket type joint. This was a little different for me trying to put it together, and it was a little bit difficult at first, and to put the figure into full extension mode, and it took a bit of time. But it was incredibly cool to see when it was fully completed. Like with all the classics figures, it represents the vintage figure really well, but puts a new interpretation on it. Another cool feature that this figure has is the great accessories. Extendar comes with his trademark radar shield. It's very similar to the vintage, as you can see, but made so much better and much better sculpted. And the new classics figure comes with a great lance. This is an accessory that should have come with the vintage figure. How does a knight not have a lance? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, come on. Well, that's been corrected, and Mattel has really gone above and beyond with it. And so it's a really cool lance, and it makes the figure, look that much more cool when he's sitting on the shelf holding this awesome weapon. All in all, this is a pretty great figure. The only real flaw is that he's a bit unstable when he's fully extended and trying to stand up. He's a little bit top heavy then that way. Definitely get your hands on him. Well worth the price. Not much more to say about this figure, as you could see the comparison between the vintage and the original. But this is all in all a really great figure, and I was very worried when they were coming out with this figure that it wasn't going to be done right. But Mattel really hit a home run with this one. One of the last few of the heroic heroes from the vintage line that we have yet to get, so we're starting to really cross them off the list. So until next time, this has been another nerdgasms.net toy review. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure to hit subscribe to our YouTube page. Make sure to check out nerdgasms.net for more exciting stuff that we do. Check out our other videos, and please share with your friends so we can grow the site. Until next time, geek on proudly.